All right, ready to dive into something pretty wild.
Lay it on me.
Today, we're looking at the collision of music and artificial intelligence.
Oh, wow.
With Freebass Inc.,
Okay.
a company that's really making waves in the music scene.
Yeah, they've been on my radar for a while now.
And to really get a feel for what they're doing, we're focusing on their work with Marco Silver
Oh, cool.
on the album, the AI album.
Interesting choice.
You know, for this deep dive, we've been looking at their website, promotional stuff for the album, some of their social media posts.
Makes sense.
So what's your first impression of Freebass Inc.? What jumps out at you?
Well, I mean, they're clearly leading the charge when it comes to AI and music.
Right.
But they're not just developing software.
Yep.
They're actually using it to create art.
Exactly.
And they're getting recognition for it, too.
That's right. The AI album is getting a lot of buzz,
For sure.
especially that track Sex, Drugs, and Alcohol.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
It's topping the charts on Reverb Nation and N1M.
Which is huge.
It is huge, especially for a track that's so heavily influenced by AI.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder.
It does. It makes you wonder.
About the future of music.
About the future of music, how it's made, who's making it.
Exactly.
So let's break down how they're using AI in music creation.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think there are a lot of misconceptions out there.
Oh, definitely.
People think you just press a button and boom, you have a hit song.
Like magic.
Yeah, right.
It's definitely not that simple.
Not that simple at all.
There's a lot more to it.
So where does AI actually come into play?
Well, one of the big areas is AI-powered composition.
Okay.
You've got these algorithms that can analyze tons of music and then use that knowledge to come up with new melodies and harmonies.
So theoretically, an AI could listen to, say, every Beatles song ever
Right.
and then create something that sounds totally new.
But still has that Beatles-esque vibe.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
But isn't there a risk that it'll just sound, I don't know, artificial?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
Can an AI really capture the emotion of a human composer?
That's what I'm wondering.
The technology is still evolving, and I think what Freebass Inc. is showing us is that it's not about replacing the human element.
Right.
It's about using AI as a tool.
To enhance the human element.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's AI-powered composition.
Mm-hmm.
What other ways are they using AI in music?
Well, AI is also having a major impact on the technical side of things,
Like what?
like mixing and mastering.
Oh,
Instead of spending hours tweaking all the knobs and dials.
Yeah.
Musicians can now use AI-powered software to do a lot of that heavy lifting.
So it's like having an AI sound engineer.
Pretty much.
That's pretty awesome, especially for independent artists
It's a game changer for sure.
who might not have access to a big fancy studio.
Exactly.
And then there's this whole other area.
Yeah.
This is where things get really futuristic.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Personalized music experiences.
I've heard whispers about this.
So imagine listening to an album
Mm-hmm.
and the music changes based on your mood.
What?
Yeah, like it adapts to you in real time.
That's wild.
It is wild.
How does that even work?
They're using some pretty complex algorithms
Makes sense.
and AI learning models.
I bet.
But the idea is that it's like the album is having a conversation with your nervous system.
That is mind-blowing.
It's creating this soundtrack that's tailored just for you.
I mean, that changes everything.
Right. It's like music becomes this interactive experience.
It does.
It's not just something you listen to, it's something you experience.
That's a whole new level of immersion.
So we can see Freebass Inc. Isn't just playing around with some new software.
No, they're not.
They're really trying to redefine what music can be.
They're pioneers.
Now, let's zoom in on the AI album.
Okay.
What makes it so unique, besides all the AI stuff we've been talking about?
Well, the sound is incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
It's like they took a sonic blender, threw in all these different genres, electronica, rock, ambient, even some orchestral stuff,
Wow.
and then hit puree.
That's quite a mix.
It is.
And from what I've read, they're really emphasizing this blend of technology and artistry.
Yeah, they're not shying away from the AI.
Right.
They're embracing it,
Making it part of the artistic statement.
which is really interesting.
So I'm officially intrigued, but Freebass Inc. isn't stopping with just an album.
Oh.
They're also developing a whole new digital audio workstation called the AI.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting.
So what's the big deal with this DAW? What makes it different? It's like stepping into a video game.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're talking about a gamified interface.
They're not just clicking around on the screen.
No, you're interacting with a virtual 3D studio environment.
That's so cool.
Right.
But what about the actual music making? How does it change things?
Well, for starters, they have this feature called the harmonic suggestion engine.
Okay, what's that?
Imagine humming a melody into the day, and the AI suggests different chords to go with it.
Wow.
In all sorts of styles, from jazz to metal.
So you could instantly hear how your melody would sound with different harmonies.
Exactly.
That would be amazing for songwriting.
Right. And they're even talking about integrating the metaverse into the DIA.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, you could collaborate with other musicians in a shared virtual studio.
So you could jam with someone on the other side of the world.
In real time.
That's next level.
It is. And for beginners, they're going to have gamified learning paths.
Oh, cool.
Guided by AI analysis, so it's like having a virtual music mentor.
Okay, now I'm really excited about this.
I know, right? It's like they're opening up a whole new world of possibilities.
But before we get too carried away with the future,
Yeah.
let's bring it back to the present.
Right.
Tell me more about this sex, drugs, and alcohol track.
Okay.
What's the story behind it? What does it sound like?
Yeah.
And how did they actually use AI to create it?
All right, well, it's not your typical party anthem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I first saw the title, I have to admit I was expecting something a little more upbeat.
Right. Yeah.
But it sounds like they're going for something a little darker.
Oh, yeah. Definitely
Well,
a little more intense.
It's got this kind of like almost dystopian vibe.
Interesting.
And that's where the AI comes in.
Okay, so how do they use AI to create that kind of sound? Did they just feed the lyrics into a program and say, make this sound dark and edgy?
Not exactly. It was more of a back and forth between Marco and the AI.
A collaboration?
Yeah, like a creative partnership.
Okay, I'm starting to get it.
Marco might give the AI a basic rhythm or some chords, and then let the AI come up with variations, explore different possibilities.
So the AI is like this sort of musical brainstorming partner.
Exactly. It's like having a co-writer who speaks a completely different language.
That's wild.
It is.
And that leads to some pretty unexpected results.
Definitely, like those unusual chord progressions in sex, drugs, and alcohol.
The ones that give it that unsettling feeling. Yeah, those are straight from the AI.
Okay, so it's not just about making the music sound a certain way.
Right.
It's about using the AI to come up with musical ideas that a human might not have thought of on their own.
That's the beauty of it. It opens up all these new creative avenues.
And the fact that it's topping the charts means that people are digging it.
It's resonating with listeners.
It's just pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is. It's a testament to this fusion of human and artificial creativity.
So it's not just a gimmick. It's actually creating something new and interesting.
Exactly. And it's not just limited to sex, drugs, and alcohol.
Totally.
They're exploring these ideas throughout the whole album.
Like what? Give me another example.
Well, they're also playing with personalized music experiences.
Okay, we talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, imagine listening to the album and the music actually changes based on your mood.
Like it's reading your emotions.
In a way, yeah.
But how is that even possible?
They're using some pretty advanced tech like biofeedback and AI learning models.
Wow, so the album is like responding to you in real time.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's crazy.
It is, and it's not just a gimmick.
Yeah.
They're really exploring the emotional impact of music, how it can be used to enhance mood, or maybe even for therapeutic purposes.
I'm starting to see why Freebass Inc. is getting so much attention.
Me too.
They're not just making music, they're creating these immersive experiences.
That blur the lines between art and technology.
And human emotion.
It's pretty groundbreaking stuff.
But let's step back for a minute and
Okay.
think about the bigger picture. What does all of this mean for the future of music?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. I mean, some people are worried that AI is going to replace human musicians altogether.
Yeah, I've heard that concern.
What do you think? Is that a realistic fear?
I think it's more complicated than that. AI is a tool,
Right.
and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
It all depends on who's using it.
Exactly. So instead of being afraid of AI, maybe we should focus on how we can use it responsibly and creatively.
To make music even better.
That's the goal. And I think Freebass Inc. is showing us that it's possible.
They're not afraid to experiment, to push the boundaries.
They're pioneers.
And they're opening up all these new possibilities for what music can be.
It's an exciting time to be a musician, that's for sure.
So we've talked a lot about the technology, the AI.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's all about the music.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can you paint me a picture of what the AI album actually sounds like?
Sure.
What kind of sonic journey are we talking about here?
Well, it's definitely not background music.
Okay.
It's an experience.
What do you mean by that?
It's the kind of album that really demands your attention.
Okay.
You have to actively listen to it.
Got it.
And it's full of surprises.
Like what?
Well, you'll have these moments of pure sonic beauty, you know?
Yeah.
These really intricate layers of sound, and
Right.
it's like they just wash over you.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
But then it might shift into something more jarring
Okay.
with like distorted synths and industrial rhythms that really get under your skin.
So it's a bit of a roller coaster ride.
Exactly. It keeps you on the edge of your seat.
It never lets you get too comfortable.
No, it's constantly evolving and surprising you.
I like that.
And I think that's what makes it so compelling.
Yeah.
It's not just about the individual sounds.
That's the journey.
Exactly.
So it sounds like Freebass Inc. is really onto something here.
Yeah, they're pushing the boundaries, but they're not sacrificing the emotional core.
Right. It's still music that people can connect with.
Absolutely.
It's not just a technical exercise.
No, it's art.
So we've talked a lot about Freebass Inc., their use of AI, this amazing album.
It's been a wild ride.
It has, but let's zoom out for a minute
Okay.
and think about the bigger picture.
The future of music.
Exactly. What does all of this mean for the future of music?
Well, I think it's pretty clear that AI is going to play a bigger and bigger role in how music is created, how it's consumed, how we experience it.
And that's both exciting and a little bit scary.
Right.
I mean, some people are worried that AI is going to replace human musicians altogether.
I get that.
What do you think about that?
I don't think it's that simple.
Okay.
I mean, AI is a tool,
Right.
like a paintbrush or a piano.
That's how you use it.
Exactly. So instead of being afraid of AI,
Yeah.
we should be thinking about how we can use it responsibly and creatively
To make music even better.
to expand the possibilities, not limit them.
And that's what Freebass Inc. is doing.
They're showing us what's possible
They're not afraid to experiment, to push the boundaries.
and to ask the big questions.
Yeah, like what does it even mean to make music in the age of AI?
Exactly. And I think that's a question we're all going to be grappling with in the years to come.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
It's been a fascinating conversation.
It has, and I hope it's given our listeners something to think about.
I hope so too.
You know, as we enter this new era of music making,
Where the lines between human and machine are becoming increasingly blurred.
it's going to be interesting to see where we go from here.
It is. And I, for one, am excited to see what the future holds.
Me too, and to all our listeners out there.
Keep an open mind
Keep exploring.
and never stop listening.